Alright, and so welcome to Tomato Industries Detailing. Alright, so today we have a 2005 BMW 318i, and so this car is a prep for sale. You can see the engine bay is really not so bad. There's some greasy stuff going on here and some dusty stuff, and dusty stuff. Be careful of the wiring back there. So yeah, I'll probably give this a little bit of clean up. The owner said she doesn't care if I clean it up or not, but I may give this a clean up. We'll just see how it goes. The budget on this is on one of them ones where it's just not quite where I'd like it to be to do what I'd like to do. However, once again, I am going to try my best and give this lady value for money. So, some of the areas we can see here, we have some oxidation of this aluminium guard that goes around the grille. I'd like to get some Californian custom metal paint in there. One of the areas I really like to work on are these headlights. Now these days they used to always put a metallic sort of silver paint in there. Now they've got this black paint for whatever reason they do it. Personally, I don't really like it, but it's what it is. So this needs a good polish, good wet sand and polish. We've got some scratches here. This probably is even worse. This side, this paint is just flat. It has just got no life in it whatsoever. It would really need a cut and polish. The budget, when I show you the interior, we'll see. I think at best I'm going to be able to give this just a very quick finishing polish, just to try and bring some of the gloss out of the paint. We'll give it the 3-stage decontamination. Being a black car, I am going to go so light on the decontamination because I don't want a lot of marring. The wheels are filthy, as you can see. I don't know, for some reason I'm just expecting some hidden treasures with this BMW. I don't think it's ever been clean. I remember the actual owner, who's now passed on to her daughter, has been I see her every now and then. For 3 years she's been telling me she's going to bring this car to me to get detailed, and now she's passed it to her daughter, and her daughter's finally gone and going to get it detailed. So this thing here is barely 1.5 inches wide. Tape, we need some small pads working here. We have handprints here. Generally these sort of things are caused with sunscreen. The trim, the rubber seals all need work. These are oxidised, the B pillars. It's in the interior where she really starts to get interesting, folks. And here we have it. So this is actually a bone material. And as you can see, in amongst all the crevices of the leather, we have a hell of a lot of dirt. And once again, with the BMW finish, look, we have peeling. I don't know what they do at BMW, but I think someone waits for the line manager, production manager not to look, not to be watching, and quickly puts something on these things, and whatever it is, it just doesn't work. It's just shit. It always peels. Even your gear. Jockey there has got dirt on it. That thing there would have all makeup and what have you off from the girls. This has been a girl's car. Top of the seats, that's sort of what the top of the seats, that's generally what the seats look like. They're probably a tiny bit dirty as compared to what they looked at like down here, which is full on. Now, I was speaking to the lady who owns it. As you can see, the floor, it's dry, but it's absolutely filthy. So that's another area we need to clean. shampoo extract. The door handles have got years and years and years of dirt and oil and grime and crap. This is going to be a huge interior detail. So I was speaking to the owner and I said, have you tried to get it clean? She said, yeah, I tried, but I really couldn't get much of it off. You probably won't be able to get much off. So I got some super degreaser out, and you'll see here, this is a back seat, and as I come up slowly, guess where I put the super degreaser? Right there, with a scrubbing brush. So we can get this clean, and I am forgoing the Dr. Leather wipes, because with cars like this, you have to get in there and you have to go hard. There's no excuses. It is, look, it is just black, B-L-A-C-K, with dirt. So it's all over the doors, it's all over everything. And of course, you know, BMW put a nice white carpeting at the back here, you know, just so it can get dirty also. The headrests aren't too bad. The back of the console there, she's pretty dirty also. Once again, we have a lot of muckety on the seats. And unfortunately, at the moment, we've got rain around the area, so drying times are going to be a big issue here. And God bless BMW, but they've got these plugs that you need screwdrivers to unloosen, you know, all down in there. She's dirty, all inside the door jambs are filthy. I'm guessing underneath here. The good news is the boot's clean as anything, so I'm not going to show you that. I'm just going to let you know the boot is clean. The paint, once again, you can see here just how oxidised, and just, you know, the scratches all over it. There's sunscreen marks on it. We've got some quite decent scratches up here going along there. More rub marks from fingerprints and oil. This here really shows, you know, looking there at the clarity and the reflection of the paint. There's just nothing. It's just flat as a tack. And all this stuff, this is just all ingrained into the paint. So it's going to need a really good wash and a really good. So what am I going to do? She wants it for sale. You know, washing this car is really, I don't think going to do much for it. So what I'm going to try and do is get in there, clean the crap out of it. I'm not going to put any dressings on it. I'm not going to put any conditioners on anything. I'm just going to clean it. I'll get down the floor and clean all those floors and mats and what have you. And then of course I'll give the wheels, tyres, wheel arches are clean, door sills. But then I'd like to polish these headlights. I'm hoping I can get a bit of a result out of those. You can just see how flat this paint is here, man. It's just ridiculously flat. And believe me, I'm not even doing a one-step. I am doing a finishing polish on this. I'm not. If I start doing a one-step on this, it's going to go way over budget and it's going to be way over time. I might put something on the windscreen cowling. You can see how it's greyed, so I might take some solution finish up. As I said, this is for sale, so it's got to look good. I'll give these a good scrub and put some Capro pearl on it. I'm not going to polish any windscreens or anything. It's just no time. Yes, so and one of the things I do is one of the tricks I do. So I get to a point where I say to the customer, listen, this car needs a full polish, a full cut and polish, at least a thorough one-step polish. And they ask me how much it costs, and I say, well, it costs this much. And they say, well, I can't afford it. And I say, well, here's what we can do. I can polish down to your trim, okay? And then below the trim, I will hand polish, which is a lot quicker, and we can do it. You won't notice a great difference. I'll just hand polish it, and standing back, a normal punter won't even notice it. So that is something I'll probably do on this car. I'll hand polish all underneath the trim, and hopefully that way it saves some time. You see, we've got some decent scratches here. We have a dent and a scratch in here. We've got your regulation scratches underneath here. These need dressing. It's Car Pro. So yeah, I've got a bit of a, she's brought the car, it's just after 2 in the afternoon now. So she needs this back tomorrow around midday. You know, as you know, I work alone, so I'll be working at the shed tonight till quite late. Because personally I want this thing to come back looking really, really good. And you know, everyone's got their own philosophy about detailing. My own philosophy is if I have to work an hour or 2 hours and sometimes 3 to 4 hours over the amount of budget, but I can give the car back looking spectacular, I will do it. Alright, that's my philosophy. Not everyone might be like that. I actually think I do know some guys that will do that and without a problem. But for me, that's how it is. And that is why after 5 years, I am flat chat, and I've got a ton of work, because people know I go the extra yard. Unfortunately, this is a scratch. Paint has all come off there, and I'm not really sure what's going on here. Yes, we got a dent. I can feel the paint there. So this is the base, but unless a whole lot of things have splattered there and knocked all the paint off. So I'll try and use something to get the transfer, thinners or something, see if we can get transfer off there. If we've got time, I'll do the engine bay. I'm not going to go polish that lip down there. I might hand polish it, but mainly it's just this surface. So it's mainly just, you know, someone wants to buy this, windows all clean, interior all clean, external surfaces for most part looking nice and shiny, and you know, they think, all right, this person looks after the car, I'll buy this. And I don't know, I've just got a funny feeling this car has spent a lot of time underneath trees and stuff. The paint, it just looks really oily and what have you. Here we got some clear coat failure, got some mighty scratches going down there. Hey, I can just see I'm going to get carried away with this car, as I do. Anyway, I better take a lot of tape, a lot of polish, and some comfortable chairs with this one, because I think I'll be sitting down doing quite a bit of polishing. Anyway, you take care, and I'll keep you upgraded on how I go. Ciao for now. Alright, so after many minutes of scrubbing, and I mean scrubbing the crap out of these doors, here's the passenger side door. This is the back door, and here are the seats. It's mainly the bench seat got the worst of things, and you know, once again, this is a 10-year-old car. It has never ever been clean. The leather is not in the best condition. There's cracks in the leather. Some of these stains are not going to come out. Here I have scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed just in that area there, and it is not coming out. I've used 3 or 4 different cleaners. It's nice in there, and this will just give you a good idea of where we started. So there we go, and that's what it was like. That's what this whole seat's like. In fact, that's what this whole every seat in this car is like. So far I'm getting there. This is what I'm calling about 80 to 90%. Once I've done all this, I will probably give it another quick going over with a different cleaner, just to see if I can clean up some of that and put some conditioner or something on it. Now to this section here, and I'm not looking forward to this, because what we have here spilt onto the carpet is anyone's guess. Now, this could be some sort of food, oily food dye, anything. You don't know. And some of this stuff will not come out. And as you can see, of course, it's in very hard to get to places. So if we look here, I can only just get my finger in there, same as yonder. So what I tend to do to clean these areas is I'll spray my cleaner all down there. I'll get a brush, not this brush, I have another brush for it, but something similar to this with harder bristles. I'll scrub the crap out of it, and then I will get my nozzle crevice tool and I'll suck it out. So I'll show you the end result. Now once again, to be honest, if I can get 70% of these stains out, I'm cheering. This is filthy. So anyway, here we go. I'm just about to saturate it with super degreaser. I will then scrub it. I might even get the tornado in there and blow heaps of air. I'll blow some air in there and try and loosen it up and blah, 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 and see how we go. I'm going to hit it with everything. Then I'll come back and show you the end result. Once again, I'm not thinking this is going to be anything other than it's going to look clean, but it's going to look stained. Alright, see you soon. Alright, so welcome back to Tomato Industries Detailing, and here's finished product, the 2006 BMW 318i. You know, what can I say? The budget was probably about as half of what I needed, probably even more than half, to actually get this car looking really, really good. Would it be worth it? Probably not. Anyway, the car's for sale. So I did normal stuff. So I degreased the wheel arches, degreased the tyres, give them all a good scrub, clean the wheels. Now the wheels have not been cleaned for, what is it, 11 years. So all that brake dust is sort of etched into the metal, and I can't get it all off. I got most of it off, 90%, but some of it, you know, you see these little holes that are stuck, that are in the metal itself, and you can't get them, the brake dust and stuff off. So for most part, it's all off, but there is just a little bit still left. The biggest problem with this car was the interior. As I said, it's 11 years old. It's a beige interior. It's had stuff dropped in there that is unidentified, and it generally is some sort of curry, and in my experience, it never ever comes out. So I could have given this a much better wax and made the car look a bit better, but I chose just to give it a detailer spray. I gave those front headlights a little polish. I was going to do much more, but I gave them a little polish. They needed one. They needed a lot deeper. I gave the bonnet a one-step polish, and I gave the boot a two-step polish. So I used a Maguire's microfiber pad, and then followed up with the cyan pad. Probably not the right combination to use, but it's what I used. Anyway, let's have a look inside. These seats, you can remember from the before video, that were just absolutely black, and now white. And what I found, what I actually started to use was degreaser with a scrubbing brush and a non-scratch pad. That worked pretty well, but you know, I decided, you know what, I might give some of the CarPro inside a bit of a crack. So I used the CarPro inside with a non-scratch pad, and I've got to say, it worked bloody well. It worked really well, in fact. The doors have come out quite good. I don't know who the fucking hell runs BMW, but if you look at the colours, this bone colour, then you have this colour here. It's, I don't know who's in charge of it. You got this sort of lighter bone colour. This is like a brown. This is like a baby poo crap colour. The leather is so old and so worn that in some places it's worn smooth completely, and you have to be careful because some of these cracks, so you can see here just how smooth it is. It's just completely smooth. In some areas the cracks are not just dirt. Sometimes you look at them and think, all right, give them a clean, and they actually clean up fine. Other times you clean them, cracks are still there, so they're not coming out. On here, put the usual glass cleaner, the vents, clean those up, clean the inlay around there and the gear lever with the glass cleaner, 303 protectorant up on top. In the back here, once again, not a perfect job. It's as good as I can do. I scrubbed and scrubbed and scrubbed these chairs, and that's as good as I can get them, I'm afraid. And you'll notice we have some fairly good stainage down here. That's that curry I was telling you about. It seems to have been dropped from in there. It goes in there, yonder here, there, and it's also at the front. I've never been able to get that stuff completely out. And also, this is probably more the colour of this carpet, but over the years it takes on this sort of a colour, which is a much deeper, darker, dirtier sort of looking colour. My advice to anyone who's going to get an interior, do not get a beige interior. Go see your psychiatrist, your psychologist, and let them know that you're thinking of buying a beige interior, and I'm pretty sure they will talk you out of it straight away. Whew. So this was a mighty big effort. Yeah, as I said, I did a 2-stage on this. There is still a couple. I only did 2 passes, 2 very quick passes, because I was in a hurry. The budget wasn't huge on this car, and I needed to get it sorted. So I did 2 fairly quick passes with the microfiber, 6-inch microfiber pad, and then 2 passes with the blue cyan pad using, what did I use? I think it was Menzerner 4000, and to be honest, it wasn't the right thing to use. I should have used a something like M205, S17, or even S20. Because it needs to be more refined, and it would have been more refined if I chose to use one of those. So here we have the other side of the seats. You know, I'd like to stand back here and show you and go, look how magnificent this looks. But if we actually get in close here, we can still see. Now, these areas here is where the colour, the leather, is actually now gone. So this is underneath the leather. So you can keep cleaning and you will just lose more and more of the colour. Here's more of it. So be careful with leather, especially old leather. Once it gets to a certain point, once you start cleaning it, it will just actually come apart, and this leather is starting to separate from the actual chair. So this is the driver's side, which is the dirtiest, and you can see what I mean. It's losing the leather, it's losing the colour. So that underneath here is the actual colour before they painted it or whatever they did, coloured the leather, and you can see it all around here. So you've got to be careful. So this side, you know, even though the light doesn't make it look very good, but to be honest, it actually is fairly clean. I think the customer's going to be pretty happy with that. Well, I hope she is, because I tell you, I have worked my guts out trying to get this thing clean. Yes. Anyway, it is what it is. So yeah, that's it. That's the BMW done and dusted. This thing definitely needs a 1-step polish. Like, I'm not even going to show you. It needs it so badly, it's ridiculous. When she comes, I will try and talk her into extending the budget. I doubt if it will happen, but yeah, stranger things have happened. So there it is. From this angle, looks pretty good. But when you get close to the doors, where I have not, all I've done is washed it, you can still see. I did quickly go over with the paint cleaner and get rid of some of the worst of the sunscreen and stuff like that, but it needs a polish. There is absolutely no doubt about it. But once again, budget time, you only got so much time. to do these things. My time is up, and hopefully this customer is only, let's have a look at the fit watch. Come on, fit watch, work. They're only 10 minutes away from coming to pick the car up. There she blows. And I'm so happy because I want to get this the hell out of here. And the good news, I'm up to 47 subscribers, so thank you very much for coming to the channel. I'll try and keep the videos going, but you know, just like anyone else that makes videos or whatever, especially when you make videos of detailing, it's difficult to find the time, but I will try and do it as much as I can. And the other good news is I've just got about another 10 phone calls regarding more work, which you got to love. So let's cross our fingers the customer's happy with this. Oh, there's one other thing I meant to show you. Got the new deck out again. That's that new deck polisher. There she blows there. She's a mini polisher. This thing is getting better and better. I've actually started looking to source it's got a 10mm thread. I'm looking to source backing plates 2, 1 inch and 3 inch with 10, not 3 inch because I've got the 3 inch, but 2 and 1 inch. I think it'll be better. I've got the pads already to go. Forget about this bloody, look at that for a microfiber pad that comes with it. It's just bloody ridiculous, you know. Might as well just throw that in the bin. But it does come with this finishing pad and an extra battery, so good on you. And so that was the oxidized B pillar. So I polished both the B pillars with said new deck, and for, you know, 120 bucks that I paid for it, which got me the 2 batteries plus everything else, you know, I can't complain. In fact, I'm not going to complain. I'm going to be happy. That thing's working well, and I'm going to keep using it and hopefully do a few more reviews. Alright, that's me for the day. That tree there needs to be cut down. At night time the bats come and they don't shut the fuck up. All they do all night is screech, and then all the poor people down here, all the little white flowers fall on their cars, and it's just a shit fight. So all you people who suggest I get a swear jar, I can tell you now it's half full, and it'll probably go towards buying, what will I buy next? A lift. So I've got a lot more swearing to do before I can get a decent hoist. Alright, ciao.